Alright, you're welcome to our 90th lesson in integrated science, and I hope you're doing well. We are gradually edging towards the end of this topic, circulatory system in humans. And by the end of this lesson, you should be able to list at least 5 diseases of the circulatory systems, and then to describe what we call blood pressure. Now, let us make a quick overview of some major diseases of the circulatory system of humans. I hope we can think of some of them. Alright, let us go through this list together. We have what we call high blood pressure, also known as hypertension. We have low blood pressure, known as hypotension. Both of these diseases will be treated in detail next week. Now, high blood pressure is as a result of increasing pressure of blood on the wall of the arteries as it flows through the body. Increased pressure on the wall of the artery as blood flows through the body. And the low blood pressure is the opposite. Decreased pressure of the blood on the wall of the arteries. High or low blood pressure are all not good. We have what we call arteriosclerosis. Arteriosclerosis. Now, in this word, we have what we call sclerosis. Sclerosis is a medical condition that means hardening of something. The hardening. You can hardening of something. So, arterial means artery. So, arteriosclerosis means hardening of the arteries. Can be due to blocking of the arteries by cholesterol or fats or calcium, minerals or salts. Then you have what we call varicose veins. Varicose veins is similar to arteriosclerosis. But the only difference is that this one has to do with the veins. The veins are closer to the skin. You will observe the back side of some people, that is between the calf of the leg and then the thigh, where the knee is in the back. You see that the veins become thickened and exposed. That's what we call varicose veins. Then we have heart attack or coronary thrombosis. Coronary thrombosis. Heart attack occurs when blood fails to reach the heart due to a blockade. You have stroke. Stroke also happens when supply of blood is cut off from reaching the brain. And the result is that the cells of the brain do not receive oxygen and nutrients and die. When they die, the victim tends to have numbness or lose a touch or the ability to experience touch on certain part of the body. Then we have what we call blood cancer or leukemia. Blood cancer has to do with cancer of the blood cells. Now, cancer means abnormal growth So blood cancer means abnormal growth of the blood cells. Let us go through the diseases. We have what we call high blood pressure, also known as hypertension. Low blood pressure, also known as hypotension. Then we have arteriosclerosis, the hardening of the arteries. We have varicose veins. We have heart attack or coronary thrombosis. We have stroke. We have blood cancer or leukemia. Of course, we have other diseases which are very popular in medicine. All right, let us move on to look at what blood pressure means. Before we start, blood pressure is not a disease. It refers to pressure blood exerts on the wall of the artery as it circulates through the body. So as I said, when the heart pumps blood or receives blood from the body, there is pressure that this blood will have on the wall of the arteries as it circulates throughout the body. And that's what we call blood pressure. Now, this pressure could be high or low depending on several factors. Now, the instrument we use to measure blood pressure is sphygmomanometer. Sphygmomanometer. And it's an instrument used to measure blood pressure. Now, what is the normal blood pressure of humans? It is 120/80. That's 120/80. What is the meaning of these values? The upper value represents blood pressure when the heart pumps blood. When the heart pumps blood, it does so under pressure. And the term is systole. Systole. And the pressure is called systolic pressure. Now the bottom value represents blood pressure when the heart receives blood or relaxes. We call it diastole or diastolic pressure. So look at the terms very well. I've underscored or highlighted the keywords in this explanation. So we have blood pressure, sphygmomanometer, and a normal blood pressure of humans as 180/80. Then we also have systole or systolic pressure when the heart pumps blood. And we have diastole or diastolic pressure when the heart receives blood or when the heart relaxes. All right, so let's take note of all this. The question is, what is your blood pressure? Is it higher than the value here or lower? I wish it is around this value. Now, let us look at a picture of systolic blood pressure and diastolic blood pressure. So as you can see in the picture, this is the condition of the heart when it is pumping blood. You can see the ventricle side, the ventricle chamber of the heart. Remember, pumps blood. And at this part, or in this form, we say the pressure is called systolic. You can see it is squeezed up. Then at this level, it is relaxed. It is open up to receive blood from the body or from the lungs. And by so doing, we have what we call diastolic blood pressure. On the right is the use of the sphygmomanometer to measure the pressure of a patient. You might have seen this instrument before. Yes, that's the instrument used to measure blood pressure. All right, we are going to look at causes of high and low blood pressure in our next week lesson, when we would have brought this topic to an end and then begin our last topic for this term, reproductive system of humans. Reproductive system of humans. Alright, do not worry that being a third term, we will not be able to cover all the topics in the Form 2 syllabus. Time will be made available to cover all the topics when school ultimately reopens. The government is going to make room for the losses and all the topics that should have been covered in the Form 2 syllabus before Form 3 syllabus will be covered in due time. So do not worry at all. Alright, let's look at our assignments. Now, 1, identify 5 different diseases of the circulatory system. You can as well do research and give me your own research diseases. 2, define the following terms. We have blood pressure, systolic pressure, and diastolic pressure. And you are supposed to give the name of the instrument used to measure blood pressure. Note the spellings carefully. Alright, before we end, I want to encourage you that keep on doing the exercise. The scores of the previous ones will be given by the close of this weekend. Till we meet again, stay safe.